Hey guys, Adam aka CSRadical here, and thank you for checking out this episode of the VCR Podcast. For more content, you can visit our Instagram at vcr.podcast. If you are looking for a video version of this podcast, you can visit my YouTube channel at CSRadical. And if you are coming from the YouTube channel looking for an audio version of the podcast, you can check us out at anchor.fm/VCR Podcast for all available platforms. Thanks for checking us out, guys, and let's get on with the show.
You have entered the realm of the VCR Podcast with your hosts, Fish,
They're just bastardizing our childhood and the classics.
Chris,
Nintendogs drove me. It's what makes me want to hurt people.
Radical.
People in general still bitch about everything. It still doesn't change.
Let the podcast begin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the VCR Podcast, the only podcast that predates itself in the moment the title is spoken. Adam, aka CSRadical here. We got Vish and Chris here, and we got Brittany Bitch back with us for...
Hi.
She's been on a bit of a hiatus.
Where have you been, Britt?
Busy, you know?
That doesn't answer the question.
That does not answer anything.
Were you busy, like...
Is busy a city?
Yeah, I was busy, guys.
Oh, okay. I think it's next to over there.
Right? Yeah.
And then, you know, it's not too far from someplace. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Is it close to somewhere?
Well, no, it's... Where was it? That's where it was.
Wait, who's on first?
Okay, now this is getting out of hand. So, VCR Podcast, back with you guys here again. Same deal as before. We're going to try to do our intro that we totally had done the intro of all the time, because that's the thing that we did.
What we've been playing.
Yes.
Or watching.
So,
Or reading.
since you've been absent for a while, we figured we'd start with you. What have you been up to?
I finally started playing Pokemon Sword.
Oh, I want to get it.
Oh, you got to play Discount Pokemon Stadium?
Absolutely.
Discount Pokemon Stadium. That is true with
To
the
be
gigantic
entirely
Pokemon stuff.
honest, if that is discount Pokemon Stadium, because Pokemon Stadium wasn't that great of a game.
No, the reason I say it's Discount Pokemon Stadium is because some of the animations are so lazy.
Oh,
You know what? You know what Double Kick is? Hop.
Yeah.
I mean, how else do you double kick? That's the only way
So
I've ever been in a fight
in 2020,
Like-
or 2019, when the technology is available, they still have that.
You play
shit
the
of
original
animation.
N64 Pokemon Stadium. The animations for moves are actually better in describing the move than what Pokemon Sword and Shield do.
I'm so confused about the double kick.
So I won't-
I don't. That's not how I double kick.
I know.
Damn it.
You're
I've
not
always
crazy.
been just saying my own name and doing that when I'm in a fight. Chris, and then I'm done.
So, Chris, when you fight your Pokemon, Chris.
Wait a minute. They usually go by their species, right? So should I say like human being?
Yeah, then we
Like-
don't really have much of a difference.
Adam
do we?
uses human, and I just jump out.
I-
Human.
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 Hum.
I don't
Human.
Because you can still be Chris because they don't have names. You're not like, oh, that's Bob the Pikachu.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, this is
Chris.
my issue.
You can
Why
name
do none
your
of these
Pikachu.
fucking Pokemon get names? I
Does-
guess you can do it in
is
the game, but in the
Groot-
show it was just like, oh, Squirtle. What about all the other fucking Squirtles?
Is Groot the transition of the Pokemon joining the MCU?
No.
We'll save that for another
Oh.
episode.
I want to say that Groot would have been before.
Next time on
Wouldn't
what?
it?
We will save that for another episode, friends.
So anyway, Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah. So how is Sword or both? Well, the one you have.
It's good so far. It's like a little bit confusing. I'm not that far in, but when you first take the train, you go in and it's kind of like an open world concept, and you can go into like different places and catch different species are there. But there's also like really strong Pokemon that you have no chance of getting, and they just beat the shit out of you, and then you die, and then you have to go back to the Poke Center, and you're...
It's a
And
lesson
then you
about
use
real
cheat
life.
codes
Yeah.
called
But
DLC.
are you fighting those strong Pokemon right away without training, or they just end up being there
Well, they
randomly?
are in the field, and you're excited because you're like, oh my god, look at that Onyx, and you go over, and then it beats the shit out of you, and you're like,
Yeah, I
I'm
think it's
never
meant to
gonna go
like you go back.
It
'cause you
is-
keep coming back to that same spot. Or
Yeah,
something.
you
It
have to
is
go back.
very much a lot more like an open world now, where things actually are what. It's not like just this is the level 2 area, this is the level 7 area.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So the Pokemon could show up randomly. You could like fight a level 1 Caterpie, and then next you could fight a level 70 Gyarados.
I mean, probably not to that extent,
not that
but I
shitty.
mean, in the sense of that the map is at least littered with more than just 3 types of Pokemon with 2 levels.
Yeah. Is the areas between towns and stuff, or between this wild area and like a town, still called like Route 226 and all that? Do you remember the name? Did it have names?
I know there was like Route 1, Route 2 when I started. I don't remember
Yeah.
what the open area
Oh,
was
okay.
called.
Well, because I mean, I imagine some of them they just call them mountain path or whatever, like Mount Moon Path. Like
I
it
used to
be.
love that about Pokemon. They just never gave a fuck to actually name any of the streets. Oh, I'm on Route 221 now instead of
They
227.
kind of give them a lot when the game had 150 Pokemon in it.
Yeah, that's true. Which they didn't name
Do you
individually.
guys, I was able to remember all OG 150. Like, I've forgotten so many of them. Like, are people actually able to remember, like, all the Pokemon now?
Right?
Like,
There's so many new ones.
all
that
the
I've
I
names
mean,
played.
on the
I have no
spot,
idea.
I'm not going to name 150 because I'm going to overlap eventually. But like, if you asked me to, if you like gave me like even just the silhouette, I'd probably guess almost all of them correctly.
Yeah.
like, every single one ever.
All 151? Yeah, if you probably showed
Oh, no,
me
I'm
the
not
No,
silhouette.
he's talking, like,
in
up to
general.
now.
The first two gens.
But like
I
just
could
just
do.
naming them off by heart, no, there's
No,
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 way.
I'm not talking about the
Like,
OG
the all
150.
900 or whatever
I mean,
they're
like,
at now.
every Pokemon possible.
Oh, after like Gold and Silver, I don't really remember much
I
of anything.
think a lot of what helped with us was the cartoon.
Yeah.
Because like there was an
Poke Rap?
episode based on one, and then there was the
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
rap
the-
song,
the
and then you had
Poke
to
Rap
guess.
was-
Catch 'em all,
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Fun fact: in grade 10, I had to write a song that was like made up, and I don't even remember what the project was for, but we had to actually write out the lyrics. I wrote down just the lyrics to that fucking anime,
Hell yeah.
and I got like an 85%.
That is
So
awesome.
would you say that you became the very best?
Oh, I
No,
fuck.
whatever.
Well,
That
not the
don't-
very best because I only got 85%.
God damn you, Brittany.
So you want to be, but you're almost there.
No,
you're like-
I didn't
you're-
use "Wannabe." That's a Spice Girls song.
You're like Ash Ketchum, who keeps showing up to tournaments
you,
and then fails.
Did you play
never
the
ages.
original Pokemon games on the Game
Yeah.
Boy and everything? So, like, with us, like we look at that as nostalgia, and I believe like the Pokemon, the original ones that were released for Switch, were similar to the Blue and Red games.
Let's Go,
Yeah.
Let's Go.
Yeah,
Pikachu?
Let's Go
Yeah.
Eevee and Pikachu were basically
Or
the
Eevee.
originals.
Yeah, they were just
So,
remakes of the first
when you
one.
played, did you play that one?
Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah, let's go Eevee, yeah.
Okay, so did you find this was like the Pokemon Sword you're playing
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now? Is that superior to Let's Go Eevee, or do you find it's a little similar, or do you find it's lesser?
I kind of like Let's Go Eevee better. I was talking about this the other day because I kind of like how you catch the Pokemon and you use
Yeah.
the actions and stuff. And this one is more similar to the ones for Game Boy where like you have to fight them and get them down a bit before you can catch them,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
everybody gets experience points and all
Yeah,
that.
the Let's Go games actually had a Pokemon Go influence too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
and you can swap Pokemon from like Pokemon Go onto the game, and it's like it's kind of cool like that if you play it.
Oh, do you have the Pokemon Home or whatever that app is they just came out with?
I hope not, because they're trying to suck so much money out of people with that.
Yeah,
thing.
does that cost money? Like, I have no idea.
I don't know what
saw
that
it.
is.
Uh,
like a Pokemon
it's a
bank
side
where you
app,
keep all your
and
Pokemon from all the
there
games.
are paid tiers to it.
Ooh.
Paid tiers. Yeah, of course.
Yes,
That's
I
for my paycheck.
think
an app
Yeah.
with
I'll lose
paid
my Pokemon.
tiers to it.
Yeah, no, they've started like because the biggest problem too with Sword and Shield, because this game has been a massive bit of controversy to people in the Pokemon franchise that have been longtime fans, because the biggest part, and I think we mentioned this on the podcast at one point, is that in Sword and Shield, the Universal Pokedex no longer exists. You can't transfer Pokemon from the other games into it. So they got to the point now that they're straight up like that. It's the first game ever that the original 3 starters don't exist. They're not in there at all.
And
yeah,
I
they've
don't,
just
I don't,
wiped out some Pokemon.
I don't like that. Like,
And it's not to mention that, again, they're doing what you would expect Call of Duty and EA and Activision to pull off with the amount of paid DLC they're trying to sucker people into, all these monthly subscriptions. That's what Pokemon Home, I believe, is. Either that or I'm mixing up with something else that they're also running, because they've got like 2 or 3 things they're trying to run around now.
Yeah, they had one. I know they had something called Pokemon Bank, and that's what they're getting rid of and doing Pokemon Home instead. And I do not know the difference between them at all.
I've never heard of any of these.
yeah, I really.
This is a
I
learning
don't. I don't. This
experience.
is like kind of making me never want to play Pokemon again.
For me, I would
It's
never.
so complicated
It is,
now.
yeah. I never really care too much because when I go, it's like, all right, this is a new area. There's 150 Pokemon, and there's like, I keep it for that game. I collect all 150, and then I'm done. Like to transfer them to the next game, so now I have 300, and then like if I had 700 fucking Pokemon, that would drive me mad.
Okay, so here's
That's
a
a lot of
basic thing.
training.
Yeah,
So-
I cannot train all of those fuckers.
Pokemon Home has a free version. It also has a paid version, which is $3 a month or $16 a year. And what it is, and it's
weird math.
this is bare bones on what it is. So if you get the free, this is what you get. You cannot move anything from Pokemon Bank. If you have the premium version, which is $3 a month or $16 for the whole year, you can't. So Bank is, I guess, like another PC sort of deal.
I think it's the original thing they
Yeah.
had before.
The number of Pokemon that you can deposit on the free version is only 30. premium, you can do 6,000.
Damn.
Who the fuck has 6,000 Pokemon?
You can put 3 Pokemon in something called the Wonder Box at once. In the premium, you can put in 10. Another thing, it's called the GTS. You can put in 1 in the premium. It's 3. You can participate in room trade, but you cannot host in the basic version. And then there's a judge function. But like the biggest thing is just, again, it's something that seems so minor, and they're charging money for it. Which again, like that gets the guard up of what EA and Activision used to do with, map packs in Call of Duty, which is so weird saying that this Call of Duty doesn't have map packs that you pay for. It's just there. So see, like Pokemon, game, which used to be the original bastion of you get everything and you can trade with everybody, and now Call of Duty is the one that's actually like fair. Yeah. It's a weird place to put it.
No, it's like they keep. This is the problem with the gaming industry lately. They keep taking away things.
Yeah, and then giving them back but charging you for it.
Yeah.
Well, you saw the one thing that Cyberpunk put up then, eh? So Xbox was advertising that Cyberpunk will be launched, or will be a game that will be available on the new Xbox when it comes out, the Series X. And Cyberpunk, the devs immediately put out, hey, if you get this version on the Xbox One, but you get
you automatically get
the X, they will give you a free copy.
Yeah. They'll give you a free upgrade, basically.
And everybody looked at that and said, that's a thing that people can do?
Actually,
most companies don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
because with Chris's brother-in-law, he had an Xbox. He bought NHL that year, and then later on that year he got a PS4. So he contacted EA to see if anything can be done, because he has bought every NHL game ever for every system that he's ever owned. And guess what EA said, of course.
Well, my argument to that would be that's not an upgrade, that's a whole different system.
It's a whole different system, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's a difference between cross-save and cross-purchase. I think it's one thing to say if you buy a game on Xbox One, you should be able to get it for Xbox Series X if it's available. It's one thing if you get it on PS4 and you can have it on PS5. That's what the backwards compatibility thing is going on with PS5 as well, allegedly. So there's that. But if we're talking cross-console, that's a point where it's like, well, what incentive is it for Microsoft or Sony to do that? Same with Nintendo. If you have Assassin's Creed, the new like Odyssey on PS4, what incentive is there for Nintendo to give that to you for free?
Yeah.
It's not even Ubisoft's call. It's Nintendo or Sony or Microsoft's call, and they want to make a cut.
Yeah. I think Microsoft is seeming to do a lot of good things with this kind of subject lately. They came out for, what's the new Halo going to be called? Halo Infinite? Yeah. If you buy it on Xbox One, they'll also give you the free upgrade to the Xbox Series X version.
Yeah.
And they're also putting it day one on Game Pass. That subscription for $13 a month. So you don't even have to buy the new Halo when it comes out. If you have Game Pass, you just get it.
Yeah,
all their first party titles, I think that's what they're doing.
I think we're getting to an interesting point that because obviously the console war is about to restart with the new generation coming up, that you're going to see a lot more companies, tip over a little bit to kind of let the fans get something good again, because again, you want them to spend $500+ on a console, so you kind of want to make them happy going in.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm sure Microsoft learned their lesson what happened last time they pissed off their fans before.
Well, they said they
never recovered.
They couldn't. Once you use their disc, it's only usable on that
No
system.
use games, you say. Well, shit, I guess there's no reason for me to buy your fucking piece of shit, is there?
Yeah.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, I think the industry is getting better, mostly because, again, I mean, it always has been getting better. It's just, we always look at the big stories, because you always look at what EA is doing, what Activision is doing, because they're the biggest names. Thankfully, because the indie industry is what it is, there's always somewhere else you can go.
Yeah.
And at the same time, too, it seems like somebody's always on a redemption path. Like Capcom has been on their redemption path. Now we're just waiting to see who's next in line.
Yeah, Capcom's
more on like a remake path.
Well, no. I mean redemption in the sense of like, holy crap, like they remember how to make shit.
Yeah, they also came out with a few new games like Mega Man 11 and stuff.
They made a good Mega Man again. That tells you they came back.
Yeah.
They made Monster Hunter a profitable series outside of Japan,
Monster
which is a big
really,
deal.
really good.
Resident Evil has become a massive
resurgence.
Yeah, it's basically back.
And
I mean,
oh my god, Resident Evil 3.
Okay, so how many new pairs of underwear did you need after watching that gameplay trailer I sent you?
Actually, I have the collection of soiled underwear in my room. I can show you afterwards.
Well, no, I prefer not.
No. Let me show it to you.
I just need a number. That's all I was interested in.
No. I want to
3.
show it
Let's
to
just
you.
go with 3 and move on.
Yes, yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Chris, you wish it was 3.
Oh God.
But I mean, it's one of those things where going back all the way to Pokemon, where I think we're seeing that Nintendo's finally starting to get a little bit too greedy. I mean, we've noticed it especially as of recently, like the Switch being what it is in terms of how it's pricing everything. I mean, that's always been Nintendo games, but it seems like it's even more gouging today than it's ever been.
The first party
I hasn't been posted yet, but I did a article about the console wars, and it's going to be released probably tomorrow. And the biggest thing I was talking about is that the biggest benefactor in the console wars are the console exclusives, and Nintendo is the worst for them, because it's like you said, you are not buying a Switch because of Nintendo gouging you for this for their exclusives. Granted, their exclusives are some of the best games.
That's what I was going to ask. What do you mean that they're the worst for it?
Price wise.
Okay. Because I was about to say, I'm like, if we're talking quality, man, no.
No. Quality wise, like, they're the best of the generations. Like, Mario Galaxy.
Them and Sony's like right up neck and neck right now with exclusives.
Maybe
in terms
because
value.
of myself being a child of the early 80s, I have a little more of a soft spot for the Nintendo exclusives.
Shouldn't I? I'm a 90s kid.
You
both should.
Yeah.
Because it was either Sega or Nintendo at that point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And mid 80s, it was just Nintendo.
But the problem is, though, it's the price point. It's these exclusives never go on sale. Like, for me, I bought Smash Brothers on Black Friday, and it was $20 off. But when it was $20 off, that was a 1-year-old game. Spider-Man on the PS4 was available for $30.
I can name you so many games of the year potentially on PS4 that are under $20 now. Like, you can get Horizon, you can get base Spider-Man, you can get God of War,
and that's
Metal Gear Solid 5.
Like, Nintendo knows that, like, Nintendo bases their products on nostalgia.
It's not even that. They honestly know that, okay, these are the best games on the console. You're going to have to buy these if you're buying our system.
Yeah, I think
so why would we downprice it?
Yeah.
I know.
I keep waiting for Zelda to go on sale. It's just not happening.
Like,
The most you'll ever
and I
get is
said before
33%.
that there's no intention for me to get one for that reason. There was a funny story we almost got to tell you. So we went to a stag last weekend, and one of the big grand prizes was a Switch Lite.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Switch Lite. If you had won that, but you can't dock it, I don't even know what would have happened.
And I only spent $10 on the tickets, so I was imagining, what would be the odds of me, after vehemently saying I will never buy a Switch, to throw $10 into a raffle, win a Switch, but it's not a Switch, it's a Switch Lite, and it's the fucking base gray one. It's ugly as shit.
I'm just wondering, if you had won it, would you A, have kept it or sold it, and B, if you had kept it, would you have bought the exclusives?
I would have sold it immediately.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I would have sold it
Walmart.
immediately. I would have kept that money in a box, and I would have waited
for the
either
PS5?
for the PS5, or if I was just like that interested enough in just at least putting Fire Emblem out of my existence,
You would have bought the Switch.
and just getting a Switch, or just praying to God that my girlfriend decides that she really wants one and does that for me, and I can kill two birds with one stone. But
so either
alas,
way,
it
you
did
would
not
not
happen.
have. You would have not have kept it.
no, I would
Not
not.
the Lite.
Especially not a Lite, and especially not that gray one, because it is
I
gross.
Also, find I
would have rather had the fucking yellow one,
when
Yellow
I
one's the
was
because at least I could put Pikachu stickers on.
when I was marathoning Smash Brothers. There was one point I was playing the Switch with the handheld version option. I didn't like it. I didn't
I
find it.
cannot play Smash Brothers unless I use the GameCube controllers. Like, I suck. with
There
that.
is also
Smash
that-
Brothers
I find,
isn't easy,
I find
handheld.
the Switch Pro controller is okay.
Well, this is
Oh,
the
yeah.
problem,
Yeah.
right? That controller's too fucking expensive too.
Yeah.
So at the same time, again, that was another part that kept me out of buying a Switch, is because it's not just the Switch. Every game I want is going to be $40, $50, $60, $80. And then if I want to get a good controller, it's $80.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I've been
It's a
planning my
lot of
birthdays
money.
and Christmases for
So-
a while.
so unless Cash for Life comes into play,
Then, yeah.
in which case, all the Switches.
Oh, well, man, just one.
So, for the
Just one's
record,
fine.
friends, Adam's moniker is actually Adam CS Cancel Switch Radical.
No, that is not a thing. That would be amazing if that's what... I could make CS that now.
Yeah. To ask for the Switch to be canceled, it's too late. It's there.
So Chris, what have you been up to?
So I actually, speaking of Switch, I just beat Fire Emblem like 2 days
How
ago.
many hours in?
Oddly enough, only 50, which is still a big
Only
game.
50.
But it's just
But
everybody's
also
been
that's
talking
one
about.
house.
That's the
feel
thing.
I feel like you could have spent longer.
I mean, realistically,
like, I finished the story and
if
it's
he
done.
wants
Oh.
to, he can go back and play the
Yeah.
other 2 houses. So
Yeah.
that could be potentially 150 hours.
So imagine in Harry
wow.
Potter in the school, there's 3 different houses, and you're going to become the teacher of one of the houses, and it's different
So what,
characters
it's-
and a different story.
So
when you
basically,
choose them.
color-wise, it's like Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, and then insert yellow one.
Yeah, yellow Slytherin.
I think yellow one actually.
Well, no, there is no yellow because it's either red,
No, there is
blue,
a yellow.
black, or green.
I don't
Right?
know. I do
'Cause we
not
look at
know
Ravenclaw as being
enough
black,
at all
wouldn't
about
we?
Harry Potter.
I thought Ravenclaw.
Oh,
was blue.
okay. I just
he
There's
got
4
the
cups.
Okay, so
For everyone
friends,
just listening.
I went to Universal Studios in 2011, and my sister's a huge Harry Potter fan, and I bought her some Harry Potter cups.
She didn't
So
want them, apparently.
Yeah, why didn't
Apparently
you
she
take them
didn't
with her? Why'd she leave
just,
them here?
She just didn't take them. So red is Gryffindor,
Well, yeah. So I have the
blue
three, right?
is Ravenclaw,
Oh, yellow's Hufflepuff.
yellow
Yellow
is
and black.
Hufflepuff,
Jeez,
and
I thought
then
Hufflepuff-
Actually, those
late.
3 there, not the green. Those
I
Green
thought Hufflepuff
is
was lame as it is.
Slytherin.
It's even fucking lamer now. They're yellow. Ugh.
yeah, fucking
They're
Hufflepuff.
bookworms. Why aren't you blue?
So when you
It's like you
Play
Ravenclaw,
through the
why
game.
aren't,
Harry Potter.
why aren't you black? That's
Whoa.
lit-
Oh.
because I was born this way,
Okay,
man.
for the record, Ravenclaw is like the gothic artsy type.
This just became. I do not
So
know
black.
anything about Harry Potter.
Well,
What?
dark
You
blue.
didn't read the books?
Oh, sorry,
I
sorry.
read the first
sorry.
like 4 books, but like I didn't like start jerking off to each of the different houses and stuff. You know, like I just
Sorry.
read
I
it,
didn't either.
and I was like, man, that Harry has it bad, but also kind of good. I don't know.
So apparently, back to fucking things, I guess.
Yeah, back to fucking things. I fucked Fire Emblem.
who is best girl?
Oh, Petra.
Okay.
I did finish on Petra. It was between her and Dorothea.
Finished on Petra.
Oh, I finished on
Yeah.
Petra.
I mean, you take a look at her, right? You know, it's not a difficult
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah. And I'm into foreign girls, and she was the foreign girl.
Oh.
Hi guys, my name's Adam. I'm into 2D girls.
The graphics were kind of 3D, kinda.
Man, Peach.
2D has nothing to do with what they. It just has to do
Yeah.
with their fake.
8-bit Peach. Damn, that was hot.
Oh no. But yeah, so you can play through and you can do one of the houses and then you can basically start again and choose the other ones because it's a whole different story. Well, it's the same story from different perspectives.
At least this time they didn't do the douchebag thing like they did with the I can't remember what the name of the series was, but they had 3 different games to it. There was Birthright, and there were 2. There was Conquest, I think, and then there was one other that was like only digital. So if you bought Birthright, you got one story, and it actually would show you on the screen, would you like this story or this one? And you'll click the other one. And it's like, please put it in that disc. It's like, fuck you, Nintendo.
I do not know that game at all.
At least Nintendo.
For good reason.
Yeah, at least Nintendo with the Switch version, they were like, fine, we'll just give you the 3 stories.
Yeah, you get all 3. But I guess if you wanted to do all 3, it would take about 50 hours each one.
Yeah, it was Fates. That was the name of it. So there
I
was
just
Birthright, there was Conquest, and there was Revelation, which was only downloadable. Which is even dumber.
Yeah, that's even dumber.
So
Yeah, but Fire Emblem was good. I loved it. I finished it, and credits rolled, and I was like, okay, cool.
are you
I'm done.
You're welcome.
I love it. Yes, thank you.
are you watching anything?
You didn't ask me what I was watching.
Yeah, are you
Are you watching anything, Britt?
Yeah, what about you, Brittany? Are you watching?
No.
Oh, wow, what the fuck?
Oh, I'm watching Love Island.
Oh,
Okay, and this is
So
why
anything
she's Brittany,
good?
bitch.
Yeah.
Bitch.
When I was done Fire Emblem, I've been watching Man in the High Castle, but like I've just been slowly going through that. But I did start up Witcher 3 again. I decided it's time because they just updated the Switch version, and the Switch version has cloud saving with the Steam version now.
Oh, okay.
So you can basically play, 4K with Steam version, and then go to the Switch and take Witcher with you.
So what you're saying is,
Actually, the games, Geralt speaks way more, and he's got a lot more funny lines and stuff. I think the
Fuck.
Netflix series went a little more badass.
I said I want to play it now that I've seen the show.
You can get it on Switch, you can get it on...
Just
We
whatever
have a
you
Switch,
get.
so that's what's
Yeah,
happening.
you get it.
well, and,
Thankfully for that too, I was gonna say if you were playing on PC, don't touch the first 2 because they're a lot harder to get into.
Yeah,
3 is definitely a lot more streamlined, and you
Yeah.
don't need to
That's-
play the other ones.
okay, that's what I wanted to know with Witcher 3.
I mean, if you know the lore, it helps a lot more if you're playing through the everything. But honestly, I went into it knowing fuck all, and by the end of it, okay, I know what story I'm
Yeah.
on.
Honestly, to know most of what they're speaking about, you have to read the books. And I played the first 2 games before I even touched a book.
But realistically,
And then
like
I'm
it's engaging with its core story and the side quests. There's a lot of interesting side quests. It doesn't matter whether you know the shit or
A
not.
lot of remember last time we spoke about this? You probably don't because it was a year ago almost. We spoke about Witcher 3 and you were like, did you get to the Baron quest?
Oh,
yet?
yeah.
Holy fuckballs.
Yeah, you
What's
wanna
with
talk
that
about
quest?
dark.
That is dark.
Is it like really like just a lot of?
You thought John Wick was dark in the beginning? No, this goes
Yeah.
beyond that.
Should
This
we
is
say?
worse than
I
a
mean,
puppy being killed.
Are you worried about it being spoiled? This quest?
See, the thing is, I feel like I will play this game one.
You fight
day.
dead babies.
You fight dead babies.
Well, you
And-
basically summon one.
So it's like
that
okay,
a
so it's,
stillborn baby that was buried
so it's like
outside
a level
of
in
the village.
Dante's Inferno where there's a naked demon chick and
Yeah, but think of
dead babies come out of her nipples.
Yeah, but think that with
Yes, that's
actually just being a
I
lot
will
less
show
over
the
the
YouTube
top.
video. It's
Yeah.
fucked. Very
See,
This is a lot less over the top.
It's not over the top at all. This is
No.
like dead serious. Like you
Yeah.
play this quest and you're and like as the story gets worse. Like it's not one of those quests. It's like, oh, that's kind of sad. No, as you get further and further, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's sad. And you can
It's-
actually not
it's
fight the
soul
baby.
crushing.
You can actually just bring the baby back to the proper burial with its other family members because it was born stillborn or something like that.
Wait, I wasn't paying attention to the baby that came out of the nipples.
No,
No,
that's
no,
a
no.
different.
different game.
He's talking something. That is a
I was like, wait, what
whole
happened?
different.
Witcher,
No, that game was just weird. You actually, it just that was just a. It was a fun game, but it was weird. It was really short.
It was based on Dante's Inferno, the
Anime.
poem about going down the different.
It was God of
layers
War.
hell.
It was God of War on more drugs.
Yeah. Does anybody ever actually read the poem or
No.
Or
No.
anything? Oh.
Absolutely not.
You said
Okay.
poem, and I went no.
It's it's like it's
I
like
am
a
a different
story
man
with
of culture. I'll have you know.
it's like a story with little bits of rhyming.
Shalom.
But it's good. But yeah, the story in Witcher is that there's a baron and his wife got pregnant and then he beat her up, so she lost the baby that she had that he didn't know about. They were ashamed of what happened, so he took the baby and buried it outside of the city, the little town they live in. Because of that, and the baby wasn't buried properly and given a proper burial, it became a demon outside the city. They had to go dig it up.
What was it called? I think a lesson. I
Yeah,
think it
some
was.
weird like you didn't bury it with its family. It never was given a last name. It's like creepy stuff. So you have to carry this creepy baby thing. Little cute little baby.
Yes.
And you can
Cute.
either end up fighting it or you can actually just walk with it all the way back to a proper burial and give it a proper burial and it turns into a spirit and actually disappears like kind of happy with like a slight happy little ending there ish.
But really, that
This
entire
is fucking
quest is
horrible.
so
Yeah,
dark that
it's
like,
so good,
You,
though.
you leave that a changed person.
This is reminding me of that one scene in The Godfather where Connie is getting beaten by she's pregnant, is getting beaten by her husband, and I feel
Yeah,
like
It
so
was like
that-
that if you threw
So
demons
that
in.
if they followed through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd have to follow through, and then it
Am I
became a
shunned
demon.
If I've never seen The Godfather.
No,
I only just saw.
I just saw them
first two
last
this-
year and this
last
year, but Godfather 2.
definitely
If you look in the dictionary beside the word
Just the-
masterpiece,
Oh, that's it.
there should be a poster of The Godfather 2 there.
Are you trying to tell me that Bob Ross is not the picture?
It would definitely
That
be
is
Bob Ross.
bullshit.
No,
The
Bob-
only movie
Bob-
that should be is just streaming all the Bob Ross.
No,
shows.
Bob Ross should be beside the picture of Wholesome.
No, masterpiece too. He gets both. He's that wholesome.
He's a wholesome masterpiece.
But then
With some happy little
no,
trees.
Wholesome, it would be Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers.
Okay, we're not having arguments on dictionary figures, so
Okay.
Bob Ross is
Cinematic masterpiece. If the dictionary allowed hyphenated words, The Godfather 2 would be.
I thought it was Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Don't you
know,
dare!
we do not speak
All right,
of
I wasted way
Voldemort.
too much money on that. Why did I bought it on iTunes again? I don't even know why I have it.
Chris,
I'm
you should
addicted
be
to owning
ashamed
it.
of yourself.
Chris,
It's just this-
is an intervention. You have a Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within problem.
You have to keep your enemies close, okay? Never
That's
let
not
it
an
get away.
enemy. You're
Chris,
supposed to not think
It
they
is
exist.
the enemy.
It's not an enemy if you don't know they exist.
Chris, you bought Final Fantasy's The Spirits Within.
It was $4.
Chris, you bought Final Fantasy's The Spirits
Someone
Within.
didn't
Not for
pay
the first
you.
time. I bought the DVD.
For Chris,
I saw
the
it in
first,
theaters.
Chris, the first thing to recovery is admitting your problem. Tell everyone what you did.
No, I love it.
Oh my god.
No, the movie's horrible.
I'm just imagining now a fucking Alcoholics Anonymous level meeting of just people who bought spirits with
Dude, I like.
Why don't you just do normal and have
There's
like a drinking
no
problem?
actual like they don't give you anything for when you actually like get a day without buying spirits with them. They just kill you because we need to get it over with. It's like, look, you can't be saved.
I wasn't a fan of Final Fantasy when I watched the movie, and I saw it in theaters because
as a movie, it's still garbage too.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Movie, yeah.
I watched it because I thought, oh my god, this animation. It was like groundbreaking animation technology at the time.
Yes.
You've never seen any characters that realistically done before.
Well, yes, you have. We call them people.
No.
Yeah, but if people were in like 480p back then, man, it was different. It was different.
No, but it was the first movie to actually do like really photorealistic characters like that.
Are you trying to say that the triangle tits that Tifa and Lara Croft used to have were not anatomically accurate?
Believe it or
wouldn't
not,
call them
no.
real.
Fuck!
Way too dangerous.
I've been lied my entire life.
And that was a time where I was pursuing animation as a career. So for me, I saw it as like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And it's like, what the fuck did I just watch?
He watched The Spirits Within and realized that he had lost all spirit within
Yes,
him.
I legit did.
The dream within.
Oh.
You guys don't remember the song? Oh, it was so good.
Was it though?
See,
Yeah,
it's
because
hard-
I also bought the soundtrack CD.
See, it's hard
Chris.
for me.
Oh my god.
See, it's hard for me to remember a song of something I've forgotten about over and over again.
It's alright. We'll find it on Spotify and play it for you.
Shit, do we have to do a riff track on that?
Yes.
Oh my god, I don't know if I want to put myself through that kind of torture.
Yeah, you
You
do.
have a guitar, right?
I mean, like riffing on the movie, like a watch along. I don't know if I can put myself.
This
through
might
that
be
kind
the
of torture.
perfect watch along.
No.
I own it on many different forms of
no.
Watch Scott Pilgrim.
Also,
we gotta do
yes. How did we
Scott
forget
Pilgrim,
this?
and one day we gotta do Batman and Robin because I think it would be hilarious.
Yeah,
That'll
but
be
we're
a
not
drinking.
drinking to it because I'll be the only one left after 5 minutes.
Somebody has to
No,
control the
we
stream.
won't play the drinking game. For the record, friends, the drinking game for Batman and Robin. Whenever Mr. Freeze / Arnold Schwarzenegger says a cheesy ice ball like "Jill, please, ice to see you," you take a shot or a drink.
That's not it. The full list would kill you in 10 minutes.
No, they actually, someone counted. There's about 28 puns.
Again.
So if you do it with drinks, you might be okay. If you do it with shots, you are going to go to
you're
the
doing
hospital
freeze
or in a.
puns, you might survive. But if you do the full game, you're dead in 10 minutes.
Yeah, the full game is not
Sounds
okay.
fun.
It does.
The thing is, it would turn the game would turn the movie into a masterpiece.
Fine, we'll do a watch along and not drink, as in we won't tell Adam. Right?
Yeah,
Right.
like with my glass of water, right?
So what
Yes.
you're saying is, like a month from now, it'll be, hey guys, welcome to the VCR Podcast, the only podcast that predates itself in the moment the title is spoken. It's just me here because everyone else is dead.
Hey, I have never died from alcohol yet.
Well, you will after doing that drinking game.
Cheers to that, dude.
Challenge accepted.
You're either gonna die.
Time
or
to
be-
die.
Oh, Britt, you too.
Oh, thanks.
You're either gonna die or be in a coma, one or the other.
I always wanted to be in a
Hashtag
slight coma. Like just for
birthday.
a
No,
day.
that's not gonna be. No, that's a heavy coma. Sir.
I want like a day coma. I want to see what that's like.
I've had really bad sleeps this week, so if I got a coma, if it's like for a day, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So
And then you
speaking
wake
of-
up and it's a zombie apocalypse because
So
that's
speaking
what
of days, what have you been doing?
Yes. what are you doing,
So I'm still playing Jedi Fallen Order. It's a really good game. It's quite rage-inducing. Like very rage-inducing.
Get good.
It is really good, and I actually found out hashtag spoiler alert. You earn a
Wait.
double-
Wait. I want to play this. What kind of spoiler alert?
Just
If
kidding,
it's
that's
just-
Yeah, no,
fine.
shut the
As
fuck
long
up.
as it's not story, I'm okay. If it's just like an ability you get, that's fine. You can. tell me.
Okay, that is an ability. You
Okay.
get a double-edged lightsaber.
Oh, okay. I think I saw that in a trailer.
So you get a Darth Maul type lightsaber.
There we go.
It's really cool. It's good when you're fighting multiple creatures at a time. But I do find the combat systems quite flawed. It could be possibly because I'm still in the infancy in the game.
It might be because you're bad.
Could be that as well. The defensive apparitions in the game are a little. You kind of have to time it when a stormtrooper shoots at you. You do have to like time it to block it a little bit sometimes. And the healing factor is you kind of have to have 3 seconds to yourself to heal, because it would be like you go to your droid and be like, heal me, and then it'll heal you. But if you're like and then you get attacked, you could be attacked while you're healing.
It sounds like a game from the 90s.
Clearly, you should play Monster Hunter then, because you would love that.
Yes, you should
it
play
sounds
it.
like
Fight a giant dinosaur, and while in the midst of you trying to eat a berry so you don't fucking die, the monster's like, oh, what's that?
Like, it's cool because it gives an aspect of realism. And like I said, the game itself is really good. And it is Uncharted Star Wars. And like, I feel like if there was more stuff like this with Star Wars, where it wasn't just based off the Skywalker saga, Star Wars would probably have a bigger appeal to myself. Britt, what's going on?
Why are you interrupting the flow of the podcast? Continue your damn story.
Yeah, keep going.
Focus.
And so I feel like if stuff like this was going on, God damn it, guys!
And this is why he's not the host.
And I'm a co-host, and this is it's really good. It's definitely a lot of fun, but it is quite rage-inducing. And when you go to a save point, you can heal yourself fully. What happens when you heal yourself, though? Everything you fought and killed respawns.
Nice.
So if you have to go back to where you were fighting, and if it's a large barrage of enemies, you have to fight them all over again.
Get good, bro.
This is why I wouldn't die.
And movies-wise, I watched an animated DC movie today called Superman Red Sun, based on a comic where Superman was actually launched into Soviet Russia. And
In
Wait,
Soviet
what?
Russia, Superman flies you.
This sounds like the greatest Superman ever.
so it was like,
Where is Adam Putin when we need him?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
What do we call Superman in Russia? Icarus.
let him describe that. It was literally just okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't amazing. It was just literally okay.
I mean, as long as it's not Batman versus Superman, it's already cleared the bar.
So yeah, that's like DC's animated movies are surprisingly fucking awesome most of the time. Under the Red Hood was, I don't know if you guys ever saw that one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I didn't see the one yet.
You should watch that one. That one
It's
is
almost like when there's not a budget and a lot of egotistical actors on a set, it's actually really easy to do stuff.
Oh, this was like when I saw it, I'm like, this was like the most perfect Batman movie ever made.
Although, to be fair, if Marvel was making a shit ton of animated features, putting them on the big screen, and they were making the same amount of money that their live action stuff was, DC would then just be making animated movies that were just as bad as the live action ones. Because apparently DC is like, we can do that, and then they just copy and paste, but actually, like, half the shit gets corrupted.
Yeah.
wasn't there like a DC? I think it was Suicide Squad mixed with like Scooby Doo or something.
What?
Probably.
I don't think so.
I mean, let's be honest. Scooby-Doo has kind of done
Scooby-Doo
everything.
has been like, it's like Scooby-Doo and The Rock are randomly solving things.
Well, yes,
and I'm
both
pretty sure
Scooby-Doo
there
and the
is one.
Jetsons
I remember
have...
really wanting to see it.
No, I know there was back in the day they did Scooby Doo with Burt Ward and Adam West Batman and Robin.
Yep, they had several episodes where they did
And
that.
Penguin and Joker were villains in that, like when they were campy villains, not like the gangster and the psychopathic.
Yeah, there were a number of them. I think like Josie and the Pussycats were consistently on back in the day.
Because Hanna-Barbera is owned by Warner Brothers now, right?
Yeah.
Well, because though,
Which
it
is
was
who
different.
owns all the DC stuff.
They were different back then though, because Batman wasn't as gritty.
No,
and
it was the campy
grisly.
one.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's why when you see Joker in the Adam West show, that he was like a campy, goofy villain.
So it worked perfectly for Scooby-Doo.
No,
Still
that's
one
what
of my
it was
favorite
that time.
Jokers. Cesar
When
Romero.
the 80s kicked in, they were like, oh, you know what? Those kids who bought comics, they're a little older now. Let's try to up the ante here. So they would that's when they started turning Joker into a psychopathic killer. That's when they started making Penguin a gangster, because they were trying to bring Two-Face into the old Adam West Batman show, but they didn't because of Two-Face's scars and because Two-Face was a hardcore gangster at the time. He was the first like violent Batman villain. And Two-Face had this weird gimmick of always stealing two of everything. So whenever he robbed something, he would always take $2 million.
I won't just take one of your shoes. I'll take both of them.
That's the thing. He would always rob $2 million. He would always take two of something. So he had a gimmick of that.
Huh.
But then he was
he'd need to make $2 million because every time he goes to a restaurant, he's got to order two of that same meal.
True,
Ayo.
He is two people.
So Two-Face they didn't put him in because he was actually violent though. And then the 80s kicked in. You're like, let's up the ante. That's when you see Cesar Romero Joker is like a fucking clown. You see Jack Nicholson Joker, it's like, this guy's fucking scary. So that's when it really started to change. And that's when Batman started to, and that's when the comics in general started to go a little darker than usual. And in this Superman movie is called Red Sun that I watched. It showed, it was taking place between the late 50s to the early 80s, and showing Superman still was a good guy, but he was under the influence of Joseph Stalin. And we know Joseph Stalin is
the nicest human being out there.
Yes, sure. He's worse.
There's not a KGB gun to my head. No, I'm not.
Is that a Putin here now?
I'm not gonna put the GoldenEye silencer effect in again.
That was good.
So, Joseph Stalin is literally the worst human being who's ever lived. Well, one of them. And he was trying. Everything he did was for the right reasons, but the wrong ways. And it was literally just okay. It was fun to watch, but I find a lot of times nowadays when it's not a cinematic release, theater released animation movie, they really cheap out on the animation nowadays. Or unless it's a battle scene, it's really cheaped out. It just looks like it's half-assed, and it's kind of insulting to the audience.
Seems like you need to watch more anime, bro.
How is anime I'm not a big anime fan, so for yourself, do you find the animation's consistent throughout? Is it
consistent? Yes, depends on the budget. If I get a chance to, I'll try to remember to show you guys the Tales of Zestiria anime, because it's made by a company called UFO Table, and the quality on that is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's good. I saw a little bit of it.
Unreal.
Have you seen the Castlevania series on Netflix?
No, that would require me to have Netflix.
Okay.
Or pirate it. Nah, I'm not I wouldn't go out of my way.
I apparently that series is incredible, so I need to watch that one. And also, just a special mention, I watched this one Bollywood movie after a while called Good News. It was actually very good. It dealt with a sensitive topic of having difficulty conceiving and in vitro fertilization.
That doesn't sound like good news.
No, but it spoiler alert for anyone listening. So what happened in the movie, there was a couple, they were named Batras, and then they were called into their fertility clinic for an emergency meeting, and okay, what's going on? And there was another couple there, and their last name was also Batras. It turned out they switched the sperm samples. So it led to a very sensitive topic in a humorous way, and it was a really nicely well done movie. It's like I was saying, Bollywood films aren't like what they used to be in the early and late 90s, where people dancing around trees, and exactly the way Britney's dancing, turn the light bulb, and pet the dog. They actually put a lot of heart and thought into their films now.
There's some stuff, though, that you watch clips of and you're like, I'm sorry, but that fucking stuff is amazingly funny.
Oh, I know. I get it. I can show you some. And then, there's this one movie from the early 90s, from the mid-90s, called Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. And it's one of the most loved films in Bollywood history. It is such a fucking terrible, painfully predictable movie that it's just... you feel like you lose brain cells watching it now.
So it's the Bollywood Napoleon Dynamite.
Is it that pain? I've never seen Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes. I still have never watched it in one sitting.
That was my favorite movie.
Yeah, I fucking loved that movie. When do people start hating
so
on Napoleon Dynamite?
For what I heard about Napoleon Dynamite is that it's fun to watch, but it's like you laugh about it more after when you talk
Those are
about
the best
What it-
movies when you quote it after.
Do you see
Adam,
that little-
he might like. He'll probably like it. Me, I can't do it because
Adam, you're just jealous because I've been talking to hot chicks online all day.
just remember though, you're not the only one who knows illegal ninja moves from the government.
Oh, he knows the movie.
So
I know lines.
Hey!
this
Well,
one-
again, here, so I didn't finish my
Good.
sentence. I have never watched the movie. I think I've actually watched the entire movie, but I've never watched it in full. I always watch pieces of it because I can't focus enough before my ADD sets off and be like, this is stupid. I need
So
to do something else.
Okay, so
You gotta list all your skills.
the
man.
movie, like for myself,
skills.
Go for Pedro.
when I was in student union in Sheridan back in 2005, a lot of people when we were in the student union elections were using the line vote for Pedro. I didn't get it because apparently Napoleon Dynamite
Like,
came out
who the
that
fuck
year.
is Pedro? He's not even
Yeah.
So
funny.
basically, they were the same people that when I was in television broadcasting, the journalism students would go to the weather report and be like, "It's gonna rain."
Family Guy.
Oh, I got.
We did that.
I'll get.
Raining sideways.
Like technically, it's on live television because it's played. I think it was played through Cogeco, so
It's gonna
actually
rain.
like viewed by people. I'm like, you did that professionally, and you're probably wondering now. Whoever did, I don't know this person's name anymore, but you might be listening to this one day. I really, really hope for your sake you got a job because if you don't, well, there's your answer as to why.
He's probably on CNN right now.
Shade.
Well, it's that thing of like, no offense, but you're in college. Like, just because you think it's college doesn't count. No, you should still be trying to.
So
you
what
know, put work in.
I look at Napoleon Dynamite like I look at Team America World Police.
Both
that-
fantastic.
That I find Team America World
Classics.
Police was funnier when you talk about it afterwards as opposed to watching the movie itself.
So it was really funny when watching, and then even funnier when you stop.
Yeah, I nearly
Yeah.
pissed my pants in the theater when I saw that movie.
I don't know. I found it funnier talking about it later on.
I would probably have sex
I
with
was-
you right
America!
now. I promise
Fuck
you
yeah!
never die.
I was
I
legit
will never
dying
die.
the scene that he keeps throwing up, and then he finally stops, and then the music just hits again, and he keeps throwing up again. It's just like I can't.
So good.
I don't know. I found maybe I don't really.
Never seen Team America.
Well, I guess.
What?
Well, there's another movie to the list.
Oh, that one we have to.
So
I also own that one.
maybe I'd probably find it funnier now. I'd probably appreciate it more now. But I found when I first watched it, I didn't laugh as hard in the theater. But
Were you with a lot of people?
no, not really.
Yeah,
That-
it's the more people that's
If-
there, the better
honestly,
it is.
if you watched it with us, we would have been fucking
you'd
dying.
you'll be dying, dude.
Okay, maybe it would actually be the first movie watch along we do.
Yay!
Yeah, it's a good one.
So,
And what have you been doing, Adam?
Yeah, Adam.
So since we were
finishing
talking
off
about-
with Cancel Switch Radical.
since we were talking about animation and stuff, I might as well touch base with the anime that I've been watching. So, I haven't been doing my podcast for a while, so I decided what I was going to start doing now is instead of watching the weekly stuff, I'd wait until the following season starts to go through everything. So now I have a backlog that I'm just running through a show.
Does anime start on a certain point?
They are seasonal. So, like, for example, the new season of stuff started in January, it ends in April. And then April will pick up, that's the spring season, that goes to July, start the summer, goes to October, I believe.
Oh,
and
so
then-
they're released all year, like
Yeah, so there'll be, like, because they're all
Different
12,
shows, different
most of them are
time
12
periods?
episodes, so it works out perfectly that it's 3 months. So it works out nicely that way. In my case, I have a massive list of things that either on Amazon or things are on Crunchyroll that I never finished properly. And there's a show that's going to have a 3rd season finally after years of just being existing called Log Horizon. So to prepare for that, I started watching through the 2 seasons, and I'm almost done season 2 now. It's 25 episodes each season, so it's about 50 episodes. I'm about 16 on season 2 now, so I'm nearly done that. That show, I watched about the same amount, and I stopped because probably Shiny Thing distracted me, probably Destiny around that time.
Squirrel.
That show is still one of my most favorite anime of all time, and to be able to rewatch it now
Sorry,
and
what's it
enjoy it
called?
again, Log Horizon.
Okay.
The game, like, if you've ever heard of Sword Art Online, it's that, but actually fun.
okay.
Sword Art Online is very weird and depressing because the whole gimmick of it, like, there's a lot of these shows now as Sword Art Online kind of originated. It's
Is
the
it
idea of
a fantasy show?
you.
Or...
It's the idea of you being trapped in a video game, like an MMORPG. Sword Art Online, what they do with it is the twist is if you die in the game, you die for real.
So it's
yeah.
a Matrix.
Yeah. So and it also has sexual assault and rape in it, which is fun.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, Sword Art Online fans know exactly what I'm fucking talking about. Log Horizon, on the other hand, is like, okay, let's take the fun stuff of Sword Art Online and then kick the rest of it to the fucking curb.
Yeah.
So the gist of it is, like I said, so it's the day of a new expansion pack. I think in the terms of it's like the 12th expansion. It's called Novosphere Pioneers. This is a game that's been running for 20 years, so it's probably started at like a RuneScape and has evolved into what Final Fantasy XIV is, say.
So it's World of Warcraft almost.
Yeah. So the moment the game is supposed to transfer into this new update, everybody's teleported into the game that's online. So they're all trapped in it. Can't log out, can't contact anybody outside, you're just stuck. And normally what these shows do is they play the role of, like I said, Sword Online being if you die there, you die for real. This game does less about the troubles of trying to survive in the game. They take it literally. It becomes a game about forming society, like almost like colonizing in the game world.
Oh, I'd bang everybody.
So the gist of it is that in the first season alone, it becomes less about fighting a boss in the game or going on raids or getting new equipment. It's, okay, we need to actually form a collective society so we can survive in this world without killing each other. The NPCs become their own personalities, so they can go to war with the NPCs if they're not careful. So it becomes less playing a game and more
Zombie
actually
apocalypse?
just living in the game. It's more of a thing where like guys like start having relationships with NPCs because they're not autonomous anymore.
Doesn't count. They're
It's
not
not a
real.
program.
You can sleep with as many as you want.
I like this loophole.
And the actual like amount of thought that gets put in the story is really impressive. Like there's a lot of fine detailing. It's not just look at this, there's just go play the game and go kill the big thing. It's not like there's this giant fucking big boss they gotta face the end of it. There's no bosses in season 1. It's just living. It's just trying to have a life, an actual life in a game where you're supposed to have no life. So that's really interesting. And it could go so out of its way to be sexualized like a lot of anime likes to do.
Yep.
Because that game is packed full of female characters, and they don't.
Bang them, everyone. Every single one. I gotta colonize.
And in fact, like there's a running joke where there's one character who is the perv, and every time he tries to say panties, one of the girls knees him in the fucking face, Team Rocket style, blasts him across the map, and just immediately turns to the main character and be like, "Sir, can I knee this guy in the face?" After she's already kneed him in the face.
Does she before he or she knees him in the face? Does she say prepare for
Nope,
trouble?
she just straight up knees his fucking face.
And they don't make a double?
Well, he doesn't have to. He's already long gone. He's already blasted off again. But it's a show that does like it's the best of anime when it comes to its wackiness without going too far over the deep end. It's not weird and it's not overly hypersexualized like some anime tends to be guilty for. So it's one of those ones that I'd actually show to a random person being like, "Hey, here's a nice starter one," because it's actually really good.
I'd watch it. I think.
And then speaking of Japan, I'm now playing Yakuza 5 finally.
Yeah.
So initially my plan was to stream it. This is
How
obviously
many
on the YouTube
Yakuzas
channel.
are there right now?
What's that?
There's 5 Yakuzas
There are 7
the seven-
technically.
is the seventh
because
one
there is
out?
0 and then 1 to 6.
And
Aren't they
7
working
is
on
coming
7?
out.
7 is the JRPG one they're working on.
That's coming out this year or next year.
Don't know. I don't think there's a date
I don't think
yet.
there's a date yet on it.
I do have to go to the bathroom. I'll leave that.
Why do you have to tell us?
Tell the
You
podcast.
guys have to go to the bathroom.
I think that's become a bingo card item too, is Vish
Yeah.
saying he has to go to the bathroom instead of just walking
Shut up,
away.
Vish having to go to the bathroom.
So I was planning on streaming, and I did. I did one test stream,
Yeah, I watched it. It was good.
and I'm not going to do it because I feel like I need to get more comfortable actually recording games first before I do it live.
Oh, like the technical stuff?
Because here's the thing too, right? No, not even that. It's just me being engaged. Because I found watching it that I wasn't nearly as vocal as I wanted to be because I was spending more time focusing on the game. And that's the problem with single-player games too. I thought Yakuza would be a good bridge because it's funny, you can add jokes into it. Didn't quite work out that way. So I figure what I plan on doing now is not for this game, but if I ever get like a good like multiplayer game, something that I can do and like react to stuff instead of just, talking along with the characters, which you can do sporadically because sometimes you don't want to sound stupid. I also plan, there's a ridiculous visual novel that I got called Punchline, which is an anime, and I shit you not, this is the gist of it. The character is a character that if he sees girl's underwear, he goes Super Saiyan. If he sees another girl's underwear and goes Super Saiyan twice, a meteor crashes into the planet and it explodes.
Wait, what?
Yes.
The fuck?
I told you anime gets weird.
Why is it always panties? Why? What if a girl doesn't wear panties? He's like, oh, I'm not even attracted to you.
Probably not.
Wow.
So they came out with a visual novel of it, and it's an active one, so it's one of the ones where you actually have to actively avoid looking, otherwise the game's over. So it's one of those weird ones where you know that for weebs it would be so hard because they want to look.
Yeah.
So I'm planning on doing that because I had my anime podcast called The Church of Weeb, and I stopped doing it because I couldn't get myself to work by watching shows every week. So going back to what I was saying earlier about watching a show, what I plan on doing now is when I finish one, I'll do like a brief rundown, and maybe once I finish a couple of them, I can do like a long podcast, like actually talking about the shows themselves.
Oh, I think that's a great idea.
Instead of one show, you do multiple shows.
I would probably do a 5 to 10 minute video, just non-spoiler, talking about a show to like review it, and then on a podcast, I would take 2 or 3 that I finished and go really deep into them.
I find it's really hard to do a podcast, video, or article non-spoilers because you want to talk about something, but you don't want to ruin like big moments about it.
I mean, me personally, it's yes and no to that. I mean, for the most part, as long as I'm like if I'm talking about a single episode, that's different. That's why I used to do weekly for the anime podcast, and I started doing it quarterly because I figured there's enough time to dig into it. And the first show I always did non-spoiler because it was episodes 1 to 3. It was an introduction, so it was telling people, hey, this is one I like, this is why I don't. And then once we get to end the other 3 podcasts that I do for each season, that's where I go full spoiler. Because I'm assuming if you're listening to me talk about this specific show, you already know something about it. So
well, once something's about 6 months old, I find spoiler doesn't exist anymore.
Well, no, but at the same time, too, like say when I do a review of whatever game that I have to do, or whether it's anime or something. Log Horizon is years old. Like, Log Horizon, I believe, started in like early 2010s. So even though that anime is old as fuck now in comparison, I'd still do a non-spoiler 5 to 10 minute expose because I want to be like, hey guys, go watch this. I'll give you like a few things just to let you know what you're walking into. But story-wise, I ain't telling you shit. Like, I danced around a lot to tell you guys what was going on, but the details that I was talking about, I didn't say a goddamn thing that would tell you what they're doing. Yeah. And that in itself is not terribly difficult. What's difficult is doing it long form, which is why I stopped doing podcasts for it. Because doing non-spoiler for an extended period of time is impossible. Because you will slip. But otherwise, back to Yakuza, I'm only 10 hours in or so. So far, I'm just playing as the default character in Kiryu, who has always been...
Yakuza 5, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I'm finally almost caught up. I'm almost there.
Have you already played 5 before? Like
no.
Before?
So I literally played from the ground up. So I started with 0, and then I've been working my way through the remakes and the remasters.
And Yakuza, what system was it originally released for?
The originals were PlayStation 2. 1 and 2 was PlayStation 2. 3 to 5 was PS3. And now we're on PS4.
And you never played on PS3?
0 and 6. I didn't have a PS3. And then PS2, I wasn't aware that it was a series.
I didn't know back on PS2.
So you've never played number 6 on the PS4?
6, I will play as soon as I'm done 5. Because 6 is already $30. Because, again, when a game's old, Nintendo, you fucking lower the price.
What?
But as a game as it
for
is,
those at home, my mind just blew.
It's kind of it's so far fun. The story hasn't kicked in yet because I side quest like a son of a bitch in that game. Taito Drum Master is one of the arcade games in the Sega arcades in this one, and I'm
That's
like,
amazing.
yes,
that's amazing.
Without the drums, unfortunately, but
what?
No, well, you don't have the drums.
I think you should get them.
But then I would just get Taiko Drum Master.
But then
you should get both.
Okay, but if you got the drums.
I don't think they sell that here in the West anymore. I'd have to get that imported.
One day he just has to just be like.
I remember. Oh yeah, Phil Collins was on there. That'd be funny. I know that at some point it was here in the West because I used to know a friend that had it, and it was fucking fun. It's stupid because it's just a drum and you just go bump bump.
I remember
bump,
watching somebody play it,
but it's fun. It's like pre-Guitar Hero and Rock Band before that stuff really started hitting.
Yeah.
But as a whole, like. I'm enjoying it thus far. Again, it's more like I need to wait and see where it goes. But as we stand, again, I'm getting so close to 6 now that I'm just like, I'm finally almost done the remasters.
How
the remasters
long is a Yakuza game in general?
If you actually properly play through it, it's probably 30, 40 hours tops. But like because I do everything most of the time, it can go like 60, 70 if I wanted
to.
So you're on 5 now. So and you've done 0 through 5.
Yes.
Well, you're on
0
5.
through 4.
Do you have a favorite?
Oh, 0 without question.
Oh, really?
What system was 0 on?
That was PS4. That's the... I don't know if it's the newest one, because I can't remember if it came before 6. I think 6 might be after.
See, the thing is with prequels, a lot of times they're hit or miss. They're either fucking incredible, or they're like, well, what was the point of this?
Well, the first game is really terrible in retrospect for story, so 0 actually patches up a lot of it. And 0 also, because it's a newer game, has all the really fun stuff, like the why am I blanking? The Cabaret Club. There's darts in the PS3 games are fucking garbage. Because it's one of the ones where you pull the stick back and flick it up to shoot.
God.
So the accuracy is terrible.
So an EA game.
It's terrible accuracy. God. So in the newer games, the remakes had them, because the remakes have changed it over, because I guess they didn't... Because the remasters, they don't fiddle with anything. They don't change anything. It's just a coat of paint. The remakes, it's literally just you hover, it will shake a little bit, but you just hit the button and it goes. And and it's accurate.
Yeah, that's better. Oh, the fucking... pull down and throw the...
But no, 0 for sure, because 0, like, and I'll tell you when 6 happens, then I'll really have a good sense of it, but 0 is so good. And again, it's not even recency bias, it's fresh coat of paint, more new side quests. That's where I told you guys about the fucking chicken that you can get to be your real estate manager, because it gets that weird. Okay. I'm going to remind the story, because I always love telling the story. So, there's a side game to it where you make most of your money where you're a real estate manager. So you just keep, like, you get enough money, you buy a property, and just over time it collects money. Okay. Over time, you can either through side quests or the story, you can collect more people to manage your property, so you can get more faster and more money faster. So you can go bowling in that game, and you go there, and they're telling you that there's this special. If you get a turkey, which is 3 strikes in a row, they'll give you a turkey dinner. So when you do it, the woman just plops a live rooster on the counter, and the guy has a stare down with it, and the rooster stares back. So it's like comedy level shit. And he stares back at it one more time and goes, "Wait a minute. That's not a turkey." And the lady's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. You know what? I've been in the kitchen before. I'll go kill it now and I'll cook it for you fresh right now." Oh. He goes, "Wait, no. I'm going to keep it and I'm going to name him Nugget."
Oh, Nugget!
And Nugget is actually legit one of the better property managers in the game.
That's so funny. And
so that's weird. Why I love Yakuza, because it's Grand Theft Auto on every drug.
I just quickly checked, and I own 0 and the first Kiwami.
You absolutely should play 0.
Okay. And Kiwami,
and that was on
the remake of 1.
You said that was on the PS4, correct?
PS4 and PC.
Okay, so it would be the most recent one.
You would probably get it cheaper for PS4 because it is a greatest hits, so it's already defaulted to $20.
Yeah. I got 0 and 1 on Steam that you can play.
Okay. Yeah, it is through sharing.
I just checked. I didn't even know they were there.
There was one game that was available for free today on Steam, and I just...
Black Desert?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the MMO, which I'm kind of curious about because
the
character maker in that game is legendary.
So Chris and I both got it. Since you're shared on our library, you have it as well.
I have it.
Yeah, but if it's an MMO, I want to get it.
I bought it myself anyway because it was free. Period.
Yeah. It's so easy. You open the app, you go to it.
So literally all 3 of us got it.
Yes.
Oh, trust me. As soon as I see a free Steam game, I don't even include those in my backlog. It doesn't count.
Yeah. Because I'll take you.
If I never even look at it, it's like whatever.
Unfortunately, there was a gentleman who taught us how to cheat and get away with it at a very young age who had passed away this year. Just a few days ago, and actually I think yesterday. So there's Brittany, I'm not sure if you know about this because you're a lot younger than us. There is, with Konami, they had a cheat code back in the day. It was down, down, up, up, left, right, A, B, select, start.
BA start.
BA start.
Did you ever use that in any game?
No.
Okay.
So
they still use it to this day.
Yeah, so it was a cheat code that back in the day that was used by programmers so they can test how levels were working, and it got leaked out. And this guy who invented it, he died the other day. And
his name is Kazuhisa Hashimoto.
He died yesterday.
You took the words right out of my mouth, dude.
He was basically the inventor of the cheat code.
It's like the cheat code.
He's not even.
There are even games today that they just kind of secretly put them in there just so people see if people try it.
Oddly enough, I just beat an indie game called Super Win the Game on Steam the other day, and one of the achievements was just called Your Childhood ... And I couldn't for the life of me figure out what it was. But it was one of those games where just like by playing it, they gave you 11 out of 12 achievements. It took me like 2 hours to beat it. I'm like, I gotta know what the fuck it is. On the menu screen, hit up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start, and boom, you get the achievement.
Oh, fuck.
And it's just like awesome. An homage to the Konami code.
1 year on Chris's... Actually, your 30th birthday, I got Chris a t-shirt that said, "I will cheat on you," and it had the Konami code on there. And I'm like...
Because originally you got it for Contra because it would get you 30 extra lives, which you still was nowhere near
That was
enough.
the first game they put it in for real.
That game could have given you 300 lives, and you probably would have barely scraped by.
A lot of people use it for Contra. Because I think it was Gradius Like, it was
Yes.
the port of Gradius, and he was just the tester, and he accidentally left the cheat he put in on the game because it was like how he was testing it because he couldn't beat it because again it was like arcade style really
Well, yeah,
fucking
they were
hard.
meant to not be beaten.
Yeah,
So
he
with,
accidentally left it in, and then they were like, "Oh, people are using it."
So it
Yeah,
was-
fuck it, let's just do it in all our games going forward.
So like there's games like Contra that were like a lot of NES games, or especially like the original Ninja Turtles game, Ninja Gaiden, and Contra were known to be like rage-inducingly difficult.
I mean, most games back then used to be rage-inducing. It's
Yeah.
kind of by
Those
design.
those are like, and Battletoads. Those like Silver Surfer. Like
No,
the-
Battletoads was not hard. It was just that one fucking level.
with the hover bike.
Yeah.
Battletoads.
Then there's the one guy that
is
did a
really
blindfolded at
fucking
GDQ.
That
and
was
said, I
one
hate
of the.
you.
That was the Mexican
yeah, it
runner.
was the Mexican
yeah,
runner.
Mexican runner. God, that guy's so good.
That's his
He did
actual
Cuphead.
name. We
Last year he did
weren't
Cuphead.
making it up. That's his
Yeah.
username.
You speedrun Cuphead like like. No one should be able to speedrun it like that.
Because I played Cuphead at
He's
your
no Zallard, though.
at your house,
Oh.
and I was about to throw the controller at your TV, but I was like,
Yeah.
oh wait, I'm at Chris's house. I can't
Yeah, please don't do
damage. I can't damage his TV.
That
He may
controller's
never
engraved. So, I mean, it just you get it automatic.
Well,
So-
I was more worried about the TV. The controller probably would have been okay. Maybe if
The
you
controller's
scratch-
more than TV. No, it's not.
what
So-
the hell kind of cheap ass TV?
Yeah, but
do you
I'm
guys
always
have?
up for an excuse to buy like a brand new, top of the line.
So
TV.
so
Michelle broke it. Oh, it's fine. No, oh shit. And just toss it down.
oh my god, I will talk to him. Thank you so much.
So I forgot to mention
I
this.
got you back, dude.
Oh no.
So I forgot to mention this while you were talking about Fallen Order, but there was another story this week that was notable.
Interesting.
Apparently,
Darth Vader is Luke's father.
No. Apparently, EA canceled another Star Wars
Oh yeah, I
game.
saw that. But like a
last
year ago.
year.
Yeah.
So they were making a Battlefront spin-off. And that was
Is
supposed
Jedi
to
is Fallen Order EA?
technically
Yes, but it's their respawn. They did
the guys who make
Apex.
Titanfall.
Oh, Titanfall.
Titanfall
Yeah.
and Apex, yes.
Oh, and also okay.
But yeah, no, they canceled another one. Which begs me the question, EA, how many more have you been trying to make?
Yeah.
Because that's, what, 3?
Yeah. They should just get respawn to make them going forward.
Like,
Who made the Battlefront ones? Do you know?
I can't remember what
Just
the-
normal EA.
I don't remember. I think it might even been LucasArts back in the... Well, no, it was DICE that did the new ones. The Battlefield
Oh, it was
guys.
DICE who did the new ones.
Yes.
Really?
Because it was basically Battlefield just with Star
No,
Wars.
I assume they would have done better.
You would, but
Yeah.
it's EA.
The thing is, I don't know if like Star Wars, like, cause when non-nerds ask me, what's the difference between Star Wars and Star Trek?
One's based on magic and one's based on science.
Uh,
No.
Well, I was going to say, the Star Trek actually deals with political and social issues properly.
Yeah.
Star
was-
Wars is just like...
Yeah. What I just said was actually a Bill Nye quote.
No, actually, you could not be closer to truth. What I tell people is that Star Trek is a team that goes on missions and is an ongoing story, where Star Wars is based upon one gigantic story that has gone through generations between good versus evil. So that's why I find having side stories in the Star Wars universe a little strange.
I love the
So-
side stories more than the main
No,
story.
but that's the thing. It's like I really like Fallen Order. In fact, I think it's probably my favorite thing in the Star Wars lore because it's really cool. It's about the Jedi, but it's still like I know for sure I know for a fact Darth Vader is in that story. And now that the Skywalker saga is finished with Rise of the Skywalker, I wonder.
Maybe.
Well, yes, maybe. Do you know what happens with the?
Oh, I spoiled myself as soon as the spoilers came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the Skywalker name lives on, in a way, and I just wonder is this still just about the Jedi versus Sith, or is it more about the Skywalker lineage?
The main movies are about the Skywalker lineage, but there's a lot of like side stories.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
the same universe.
if they went into the past, they could definitely do a lot more, kind of like what the Clone Wars animated shows
Yeah.
used to do.
And there's also the Knights of the Old Republic, which
I
is
was
like
just going to say
2,000
that
years before.
because
like-
if they gave BioWare, well, they actually also got BioWare to get their shit together too, but if they had made a Knights of the Old Republic 3, or even just fucking remade one of them,
Yeah.
we'd all be like, oh, that's what Star Wars games are supposed to be like. Fun!
Yeah.
And adventurous.
That's what was different about. That's what is different about Fallen Order.
Why?
That
Because
it-
somebody actually tried?
Yeah, that they tried. That it's different. That it's going through a different story mode. It's going through a different lore and type of. I don't really have the words right now because I don't know how to really describe it. It's like it's in the Star Wars Skywalker universe, but it's not.
The way
I mean, it's a universe, so it's pretty easy to
Yeah.
just be like, here's a planet that's
So,
not anywhere near any of this shit.
I will say it's Star Wars 3.5.
It does take place in between, yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of a game that was out on N64 called Shadows of the Empire.
Yep.
I heard
Anybody
about
play
that one. Yes.
So you play as another bounty hunter, smuggler, kind of Han Solo kind of guy, Dash Rendar, and you're actually in a lot of the same locations as Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
When does the Mandalorian take place?
Around the same time as Fallen Order.
Oh, okay.
Like
so
10
it's
years after...
episode 3.5.
Yeah, same as Rogue One, which is actually more like 3.99.
Yeah, Rogue One is 3.9.
But yeah, like it was another story of another character, and it was in the universe, and like it's kind of like happening on the side. But it was a popular game, and it was a whole new person that had their own story, and then they were just done.
Wait, I thought Mandalorian was like between 6 and 7. Or I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
sorry, no, that one's between 6 and 7. You are right. You are very right,
something.
Brittany. Sorry, that's 6.5.
Okay, so
Not
sorry.
3.5.
So 6 is Return of the Jedi, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So 7 would be Force Awakens.
Force
Yes.
Okay, that's when Mandalorian takes place.
Yeah.
So that Baby Yoda is not Yoda.
No.
Okay.
It's funny, the episode 9 movie, the final movie, came out last year. And the only two things I'm super excited about Star Wars wise from last year is Fallen Order and Mandalorian. That's the only two things that really
Well,
go
because
back.
I've as I mentioned multiple times, I watch Star Wars for the hype because everyone talks about it, and I just want to know what's going on. Because I didn't want to be like, Brittany and I, before she saw Rise of the Skywalker before we did, and she saw a spoiler picture of. Is it too late?
Don't fucking do it. Like,
Yeah.
just don't.
Okay. She saw a spoiler,
A spoiler picture, period.
and I told her, yeah, I read a really big spoiler as well. So we each share. I shared my spoiler with her after she saw the movie, but as I'm not a big fan, she sent her spoiler picture to me, and I'm like, oh, okay. And it was just like, where do you go from here? Like, is there gonna be another? Like, how does that's the thing with Star Wars? It was just one giant story.
If they were to ever make another movie, and I'm assuming they would because Disney
There's
wants
already
money,
4 in the works.
I want this to be so far away from the Skywalkers that it's not even close. Like, there's no, like, even if I want 500 years in between.
Yeah.
So that if it's a Skywalker, we're talking like so far away that it doesn't mean shit.
There's
Because I can't take this quick time series of events anymore.
yeah.
I want a new story. I think everybody wants a new story because we thought that was what we were getting when we started episode 7, and then we realized, nope, it's just the fucking Skywalkers
Well,
again.
Yeah.
what ended up happening, I feel that with Rise of Skywalker, that Princess Leia's,
You can't
Yo.
say it. Can't say it.
Princess
Spoiler.
Leia's, Carrie Fisher's death, unfortunate, heartbreaking, untimely
Oh,
death.
sorry. I thought you were talking about it from this movie. Go ahead.
No, impacted the movie a lot because how with The Force Awakens it was very Han Solo focused, and Return of the Jedi was very Luke Skywalker focused. Force Awakens was supposed to be very Princess
You mean
Leia.
Rise of the Skywalkers?
Yes, it was supposed to be very Carrie Fisher focused, and unfortunately, due to her heartbreaking, untimely death, it never happened that way. So I feel like that was a huge factor as to why the movie was not as... A lot of people liked it, well, because of the disappointment that that I don't understand that Last Jedi was, but a lot of people liked The Last Skywalker and The Rise of Skywalker, and I found that I did like The Last Jedi, and I feel like her death really impacted the overall quality of what the film should have been. And that was just an unfortunate circumstance.
But yeah, the gist of it is that BioWare should make another Knights of the Old Republic.
They should. They're not, but Disney announced they're doing another Knights of the Old Republic, but it takes place at a different time, and everyone was like, they're making a new video game, and it turns out it's just a series of books and comics they're going to be doing.
Is this Knights of the Old Republic, is that the games that were out for the PS3?
No, PS2.
Before that. That's Force Unleashed.
Actually, sorry, no, I think that would have been just on 360. Was it?
I think
was
it was
multi-platform?
One was on original Xbox, but that may have been Jedi
Oh,
Academy.
sorry, yeah, you're right. It was Xbox.
Because it was 2, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just Xbox.
I love those developers. They
What was
released
the
an update to the game
on the
last year.
GameCube, the Star Wars one. Rogue Squadron?
God,
Oh,
probably.
That was on N64.
Yeah, the original was N64.
Because that was almost like it was Star Fox, but Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of BioWare, though, a fun little thing came out. So one of the creative directors for BioWare, who's done Dragon Age, Mass Effect, etc., just made I don't know what the comment was directly, but he said something about like Paragon and Renegade with Mass Effect, which is basically like good or evil.
Yeah.
And he said something like 92% of Mass Effect players were Paragon.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, and we put a lot of work in the Renegade content too. And I'm like, that does not surprise me that 92% of us were like, yeah, let's not be dicks.
Yeah, and like you like give a response to an NPC where you are a dick and you hurt their feelings, so you reload your old save just so you can give the other response.
And here's the argument, because obviously somebody who's played Mass Effect several times through and through. The problem is that what Renegade is truly the utmost evil, and it kind of isn't fun to play because it's not just you're a dick to the enemies and the NPCs, you're a dick to your teammates. And you like your teammates. It's hard not to like some of the guys on your team. Paragon is just like, you're nice to everybody. Renegade is you hate everybody. It's like, but I like these guys. Why can't I just be a dick to everybody else?
Yeah, why can't it be like somewhere in the middle?
Like, the idea is, if you're an asshole, so should your crew. So why are you being a dick to your crew?
Yeah.
Like, why would they ever do anything you want? Like, there's a suicide mission at the end of Mass Effect 2. Who would want to fucking work for you?
Yeah.
Like, realistically, if the game was accurate for being a renegade, being a total dickhead, you wouldn't have any party members by the end of the game.
Yeah. It would be more realistic where it's certain characters. You're just
it would be like
to random people.
It would be like I would look at Paragon and Renegade as, okay, Paragon, like, you're always loyal to your crew. That never changes. Paragon is you're doing things for the good of humanity. You're doing things for the good of everyone. Renegade, you're a selfish prick who just wants to take glory. Mm-hmm. Like, you're either destroying ships and taking their cargo because you're greedy. You want the extra shit. Kind of the same way of, like, when you're playing BioShock, you can either save all the little sisters or kill them and take their essence so you level up faster.
You either like save them or kill them. You can't just leave them to fend for themselves.
Well, I mean, you can just not like come across them. Like, you have to defeat those big hulking
big daddies
guys to kill them. But
you like that, eh?
If you avoid enough of them,
yeah,
I mean, granted, you want the extra leveling up because they give you skills that you really fucking need by the end of it.
Game, yeah.
So you kind of should go see as many of them as you want. But again, like, in the sense of a lot of games that try to do the good evil thing, they fail miserably because they forget that, like, when you look at bad guys, what do they have? Several hundreds of crew members that are loyal to them.
Yeah.
And it's not like Darth Vader is a different, like, not everybody's Darth Vader. There are a lot of guys who are like, we watch The Expanse. Fucking the first time you see Ashford, he looks like an evil son of a bitch.
Yeah.
By the end of it, you love the guy.
Yeah.
Because he grows on you.
Yeah.
There are guys that do horrible things, but as a person, you like him.
It's not just
that's the
good
thing
or
with
evil.
the best villains do bad things, but for the right reasons. It's that they don't think what they're doing is bad, and that's what makes them evil. Like Magneto, for example.
That is a great example.
Magneto is
because
probably
he
the
truly
perfect
saves a
bad
lot
guy.
of people.
Yeah.
Also even Thanos. He was trying to eliminate half a population so the universe would thrive. And the best villains are the villains who are doing bad things, but for the right reasons. Lex Luthor, The Joker is the only exemption.
Joker is what Renegade is apparently in games. Like,
Yeah.
that's what Joker is just fuck everything.
Yeah, Joker is, like you said, he's the chaotic evil of Dungeons and Dragons.
I do like some classic, like the Emperor from Star Wars and stuff. Like, he's just evil for the sake of being evil.
Well, there's
I do like the classic.
There's like
good
cheesy
versus
classic evil that's
Yeah.
different. But with the Mass Effect games, for like as the main example, it's literally just you're an asshole to everyone, and it's like you can only do that for so long before, even though you're trying to do this intentionally, you're like, I can't. It's fucking hard.
Also, Killmonger from Black Panther.
Yeah,
So,
that's an example
yeah.
where you I actually liked him more than Black Panther in that movie.
I did too. It
He
made me
was-
kind of wish that they hired the Michael B. Jordan as Black Panther, like for the character, and give him a little more life.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. It's like you look at certain villains and you're like, I don't blame you, man.
Yeah, Magneto's a fucking
Magneto is
great
probably the
example.
most perfect example.
Yeah,
we could think
Magneto's
of.
the prime villain, like the prime example of that. And
I'm Magneto, and this is my favorite mutant on the Citadel. There's a running joke in Mass Effect where at one point you go through all the kiosks in the early point of the game and they all want your advertisement. So you go to every store and be like, I'm Commander Shepard and this is my favorite store in the Citadel. And you do it 5 times to every store. So it's just like you're a sellout.
Yeah.
In the first Mass Effect?
I think it's the second one, if I'm
I
not
was
mistaken.
like,
Have you played Mass Effect?
I played some of the first one. I'm really bad at like those kind of video games, so I just get fed up. And
In retrospect, too, like I tried to replay the series once, and I could not get through the first game because it's so archaic in comparison now. If I would want to go through one in total because I want to have all my decisions carry over. Mass Effect 2 and 3, they'll let you they'll give you the key things in the story, and they'll be like, "What would you have done?" And they'll let you do that. But man, it would be so hard for me to do.
Another example of a good villain is Lex Luthor. Like, he actually legitimately wants to make the world a better place, and he feels like Superman is coming in his way.
A lot of comic book heroes are like that too, right? Like not all of them are just Joker. You know, a lot of heroes are.
No,
They're
Doctor Doom is actually a guy who created utopia in Latveria.
Yeah, like they all have like their. It's the utopia thing where it's just that's their vision of a perfect world doesn't skew with what everybody else wants.
And that's that was the thing about the Red Sun movie I just watched. That Superman Red Sun. Superman was found in Russia, created utopia, but Superman was actually a dictator and was controlling people.
Was he also a dick?
Ayo.
And a tater.
I like tater tots.
Ooh. And
Potato.
it's the whole thing that like evil doesn't think they're evil, and that's what makes them evil.
So the last thing I have personally, as we're winding down here, there have been rumors floating around that EA is finally working on a new Sims game, which a lot of people are all like psyched about.
Yes.
The rumor, as is being put out now, is that it won't just be single player.
MMO Sims? Oh my good gravy.
Now-
Oh my god, it's
I
gonna be a dating app.
Now I thought, the very beginning I thought this would be like, that would be so cool. And then my other brain clicked in and went, oh wait, EA, The Sims, multiplayer.
They're gonna fuck it up.
Good lord, there's going to be like 5,000 times the DLC in that
Yeah,
game.
and microtransactions.
Because it's insane. Like, I started booting up Sims 4 again because when it was free for console, I was like, fuck this, I'm playing the PC version with mods. And I went back on, and I remember how much the fucking packs cost.
Yeah.
Like, an expansion is $20, and just a set that's just a couple of things can be $10.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Like, there's one that's like just a hot tub and like a couple of things, and it's $10.
This is Sims 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Sims 3 had a lot
So what
too.
you're saying, it's a hot tub time machine.
No, it's not. That's not fun. Like, no, Hot Tub Time Machine was fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
And also didn't break your fucking wallet.
I heard it's hilarious. I've never seen it.
But the idea just blank of just a Sims that's multiplayer is very interesting to me. I don't know how that would work because people would just...
When you build a house together, okay.
Well, the
Well,
word...
you
wanna-
build a house and you're all in the same server.
do you want
like
to build
it-
a snowman?
If it is in a sense Minecraft in a way, like
Yeah,
just
like, I
like
think it'd
having
be-
like like just being able to build a city with friends, sure,
Cute.
sure.
City.
And then we all get to get jobs together. We'll all work at the same bar.
Why don't we just go out in real life and do all this stuff?
No. know.
Do you have money? Chris,
Where do you think we're going right now?
Do you have the money to open up a bar that we can all work at?
I have owned 3 bars and not told you guys.
Okay.
How do you think
dude,
I afford all these nice
So
clothes?
clearly,
all these ripped jeans.
so clearly,
Pre-ripped.
Hey, I just
we
paid
need
more for these.
to open up a
Probably.
bar and call it Seventh Heaven.
Whoa.
You know, honestly,
Tifa's bar.
if,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was,
yeah.
if I was gonna open a
Wait,
bar,
no. It'd be the fucking show.
The show?
That show Seventh Heaven, like the family show.
Oh, yeah.
yes, where the dad who was a priest turned out to be actual rapist in real life.
Whoa.
Wah, wah. And with that...
No, that's actually
So this
true.
has been
No,
the
it's-
VCR podcast, and the R stands for not rapist.
Yeah, it's dead.
The R is not for rapist. It's
Thank
for,
God, because I'm not rapist. I'm
He's
radical.
radical, so he'd be the R.
Woo! That would be a hell of a turn, wouldn't it?
Cancel switch radical.
I mean, to be fair, I'm an anime guy, so I don't think people have to worry about me getting too touchy with people in real life.
They're more worried that you're going to see Panties go Super Saiyan, see him again, and a meteor hit the Earth.
Legit, I cannot wait to play that and record that and post that because I want people to see the insane. I don't know what the fuck I'm about to walk into. I know from the anime itself because I've seen the series.
Which anime?
Punchline. You were in the bathroom when this happened.
Oh, okay.
So the gist of the show is that it's as weird as anime gets. Like, this is not a first time viewing for anime people. So this person, it lives in a dorm with a few women. If that person sees underwear, and specifically panties, red hair goes Super Saiyan. Suddenly has all these extra magical powers and can fight like massive robots.
It's called testosterone.
But if he sees panties while in that form, a meteor crashes into the planet and everything dies.
Okay, so
I
So
think
it-
for the good
you
of
go-
humanity, this person should be killed.
Yeah.
Immediately.
They don't
Like,
know that.
A bullet in the head.
I
This-
got
you know this?
that sword right there. I know it's a prop sword and it's fake. It's really
You
flimsy.
can still cut somebody with it.
I
Yeah.
mean, you could still slap the piss out of somebody with that fake Sephiroth
Does
sword.
he know that the meteor will hit the Earth?
Yes.
Okay, so he should
because
kill
it
himself.
happened. Because it
What
happened.
do you mean it happened? How did it happen?
And then a floating ghost cat sends him back in time to try again.
Wait, can that always happen?
Yes.
Okay.
It happens
Oh, okay,
repeatedly.
so then he's fine.
This
Just let the
show
meteor hit over and
sounds
over. Who gives a
absolutely
shit?
ridiculous, and I love
Yeah.
it.
So there's a visual novel that I bought for PS4 where it's basically that. So you're actively trying to complete missions without seeing panties.
I don't
Sounds like
this.
the opposite
Yeah.
of my life's goal.
I agree.
I
with
feel
you.
like
Yeah.
it's backwards.
I cannot wait to let's play this because it's going to be so.
I can't
stupid.
wait to watch you let's play and then spam your chat.
Well, it will be a probably recording. I probably will
Noob, get good.
I'll
panties.
probably do it. I will probably do that offline.
You know, I don't know what happened.
No.
Maybe it's because you guys. You know what I have stuck in my head?
I don't
right
even
now?
know if Twitch would let me play that, to be honest.
No, the Final
Just do it.
Fantasy VII battle music. I have it stuck in my head. Right.
I was gonna say which
Yeah,
one.
no, it's the other one. It's like. dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I don't, for some reason I have it stuck in my head right
in
now.
our heads, these sound great. Oh, Genoa.
And then collect. No. See, because he's doing that.
Oddly enough, this is making me
And
excited.
Brittany is Snapchatting us.
Bam.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, this is making me excited for my concert I'm going to March 14th.
Which
You're going
concert
to
is
Distant
this?
Worlds, aren't you?
No, Assassin's Creed.
Oh, that's right. You went to
The
Distant
Assass-
Worlds already.
Yeah, I already went
So, friends, Chris, Brittany, and I are going to Toronto Comic Con
Yeah,
in
we
about
are.
a
Yeah,
week.
fuck all y'all. Go without me.
Honestly, you would actually enjoy it. It's not. It's.
Yeah,
I
why
would
don't
say
you
it's
to this. Yeah,
as.
man.
Don't be late.
It's
We're all
as
cosplaying.
busy.
I'm probably not cosplaying.
Yeah, why?
I'm
Why
going
aren't
as
you?
myself. I'm going as VCR.
Are
I'm
you
going to be an actual VCR.
I was gonna say, please do that.
I will see if I can find a box for you so you can actually be a fucking VCR.
That sounds wrong.
No, actually, Adam,
Yeah,
it's
nice.
it's as busy as EGLX, if not
Oh,
less.
I know, but Comic Con's never been my scene because most of the stuff there does not really jive with what I like.
There's some anime.
There's
Well, the problem is
gaming
it's
and
so
anime.
scattered, like it's not enough. Like I wouldn't like, and this is plain old, blunt for you guys. All the other stuff that you guys would want to watch, I would be rolling my eyes and cringing because I don't care. So
Okay.
I wouldn't want to waste my time. I would honestly like leave you guys for a while, and I don't like doing shit on my own most of the time.
You don't?
Oh, okay.
I love doing
And then
stuff
speaking of sad things with conventions, there's a
Yeah,
pretty good
going
chance
all
that we're
by
not going to
yourself
even
is
get
awesome,
to do a
right?
live show.
like that. Fuck yeah, I
Pardon?
love that.
It's like speaking of us possibly depressing things related to conventions, we might not be able to do a podcast live, this year because Con Bravo may not be in.
Oh yeah, you've been
Hamilton.
talking about that.
What?
it might not be in Hamilton?
Yeah, Con Bravo is officially not going to be at the convention center this year, and it's not even sure where it's going to be. It may even not even be remotely close to us. They're looking at specifically three places is what they named. It's still going to be in July, but it could be Burlington, which if that's the case is still fine.
Yeah, that's
The
fine.
other two are Guelph and Niagara, and I said, I don't like anything enough to go drive that far.
No, like here's
We're
the
not
Guelph.
going to Niagara Comic-Con?
No.
No, honestly, no.
Which is depressing.
Friends,
I'm already-
no offense, but I just don't go to Guelph, and Niagara is.
It's not even that I
a
wouldn't want to
convenient
go.
drive.
It's the price. It's the amount of money I'd be spending on gas. And if it's in Niagara, there's no way I'm driving back from Niagara to Hamilton each day. So it'd be like, I'm not getting a hotel in Niagara just to go to Con Bravo. I love Con Bravo. I don't love Con Bravo enough to get a hotel.
No,
Yeah.
I honestly would rather save my money and go to.
Mind you, I'm
Fan
cheap as
Expo
fuck
for
right now
the
because I
day.
have to be.
Yeah.
And guys, honestly, this is pretty shitty of you. If this is what you're doing.
No, the reasoning is because the convention center, their contract was up and they hiked up the rent.
They hiked up the
Okay.
prices.
They hiked up the fees.
Of course
Okay.
they did.
Yeah, of course.
That's honestly the gist of it.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Well, I think.
Because the plan, like, for those who don't know what the fuck we're talking about, there's a convention local to us that is actually relatively small and manageable. I love it, and it's mostly YouTube and game based. So it's not, it's basically
And,
YouTube cosplay and like indie stuff. Like it's nothing
and
crazy.
I've been. It's a lot of fun. I go mostly to support Adam because I want to make sure that like.
He wants to terrorize my panels exactly.
For the record, I make sure I get the.
I usually do 3 panels. So what I normally do is I do one on pro wrestling, one on anime, and one on gaming. And the plan this year would have been to have the 3 of us, do the gaming panel. So that was the plan. And then when this news
knowledge.
came out,
got the
I was
knowledge.
like, well, shit. So it's your fault.
It's our fault?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it was just
Well-
me, would have been fine. Everything would have been fine somehow. They would have magically had another year on the contract.
Yes,
I feel like that's exactly what happened.
I feel like we're getting blamed for something that's completely out of our control.
That's okay. There's so
Call
many
me crazy.
There's so many other things you do wrong anyway.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
In the words of Adam Trump, wrong.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Icarus.
I've actually seen that.
Oh, you actually watched
was,
it now?
Was it?
I know. I watched it before.
Oh, you
I
watched?
didn't-
Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
No. It was about doping in the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
Which they allegedly totally did.
Yeah, they absolutely that spot on. They did it. Yes.
Yes.
Not even a little bit.
Speaking
like,
of the
"Oh,
Olympics, here's a way to end it off. Is it going to be really weird if they actually have to cancel the Olympics or move
It's
it?
not the first time it's something like this.
Oh, 'cause of
canceled. They
coronavirus?
Like, no, like the Tokyo Olympics may be canceled because of coronavirus.
they canceled the one World Cup one year because
Yeah,
of
but how
World
long
War
ago?
II. Like 1940.
Okay, but that's what I mean is
Yeah,
we
it's
weren't
different.
alive.
Yeah, I know.
So like, how weird is
That
it
was
gonna
also
be?
World War II.
But what's really depressing is that we were all interested in this because fucking Mario was on this shit. Remember when they transferred the closing ceremonies? They had the pipe come up for Mario.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So like this could have been like the closest thing to like an actual Olympics that were like fun to watch.
Yeah.
And now it's probably not.
No,
gonna
no,
happen.
like
I mean,
I don't like for yourself. Like you're more focused on baseball and hockey when it comes to sports of anything else. So I don't know like how much you watch the Olympics itself.
The summer, I really don't care for most of it.
Yeah. So for me,
Do I
like,
really want to watch a bunch of women kicking their feet upside down in the water doing synchronized swimming?
yes.
Yes, I'm totally.
Sounds like
If-
my afternoon.
If they did it, if they did
I
it
watched it on TV.
to
My building has a pool.
either game music, anime music, or heavy metal, I might be interested. But because it's all like,
Bop, 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 bop.
there is the
Honestly,
one girl
and
in
I'm
figure skating
not-
that does like Sailor Moon.
Yes.
Like that's fun.
I did
I
watch
think there was
one,
one person who did the gymnastics routine with that too, if I'm not mistaken.
That'd be harder.
But they usually don't get that high.
There
up,
was actually
right?
one. There was actually one figure skating team who danced to a Bollywood song back in 2010, and they actually did a fantastic routine, and I think they were medalists in the end.
So what you're saying is we need an ice dancing group that does the Sailor Moon theme, and one of them is dressed up as Sailor Moon, the other is Tuxedo Mask.
Yes.
if they could make a costume that is viable to it, go for it.
All right, guys. Everybody collectively, this is up on the show. Think of the craziest routine you could think of as a figure skating. Because mine is Doom Guy and a girl dressed up as a fucking zombie dancing.
Okay,
Adam,
the thing is, the thing is though, with the costume though, the costume has to be.
No. I'm just talking Maximum Chaos. Don't care if it works or not.
Okay, then.
It doesn't have to just be stupid. That's all I'm asking.
Someone dressed up as Thanos and someone dressed up as She-Hulk.
But what's the music? That's the thing. The music's the big part.
The Final Fantasy battle music.
So it makes no sense.
1,000 people as zombies going out into the ice all at once, terrorizing everyone.
Just dancing.
Yes. Please fucking let that happen.
Someone will get hurt. They all have knives on
dancing
their
to
feet.
Thriller.
They come out as zombies and all of a sudden,
Never mind, you win.
done. What about you, Brett?
Oh, I have to put input? Oh, okay. People dressed as Pidgeys to the Pokemon song.
I was gonna say.
Pidgeys?
I like that you went with Pidgeys.
I guess that was one of the lamest Pokemon.
I was gonna say people dressing up as Jesse and James doing the Team Rocket intro on skates.
That'd be fun.
Prepare for double. Make it double.
I'm just imagining James like full on like doing the full like, and make it double.
Just
Adam
Sonic
is
and
popping
Robotnik
his booty
going in
right now.
circles, one chasing the other.
Yeah.
Adam is very.
And then like some child just slides down the ice being like Meowth.
Oh my god.
Wait, actual cat on skates.
Actual cat on skates.
Okay.
100 actual cats on skates.
I got.
Wait, Cats the musical on skates?
No! Cats the movie on skates.
No, not that movie.
Oh, good God, no.
No,
I got another one.
Nope, fuck it. No, we talked.
Someone skating naked as Miley Cyrus on a wrecking ball singing Wrecking
No,
Ball.
we already have to end the show. He brought up Cats the movie. We have to stop this right now before it gets too crazy. This has been the VCR Podcast.
I came in like a
Get the fuck out of here. Bye.
Pokeball.